Hello guys. So in this session we are going to learn how to install Elasticsearch on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS. So let's start. So first of all we need these prerequisites. For first of all we need AWS account with Ubuntu 24.04 EC2 instance, and we need 2 CPUs core and 8 GB of RAM for smooth performance. Okay. So that's why, as you can see here, I successfully launched my instance and I have instance type is as T2.large because we need 2 CPUs or 8 GB RAM for smooth performance. So that's why. Okay. So let's start to install Elasticsearch on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS. So first of all, the first step is let's install Java for Elasticsearch for Ubuntu. Okay, so for that, first of all, let's update our system packages. So as you can see, this is my terminal. So I have successfully connected to my terminal. You can see welcome to Ubuntu 24.04 LTS. So let's update the system package. So as you know the command, sudo apt update. Then after that, let's install the apt transport HTTPS package to access the repositories over the HTTPS. Okay, so let's install the HTTPS. Okay, it's also done. After that, let's install the OpenJDK11. So Elasticsearch components require Java, so we will install OpenJDK11, which is widely used open source implementation. So let's install this. Okay, as you can see, it's done. If you want to check the details or version of your Java, so let's verify using the following command. You can see the date and timing that we have installed and so on the details of about Java. Okay. After that, now to ensure that stack components can locate Java, so we need to set the Java home environment variable. So let's open the environment file first. And first of all, let's remove this path because we are going to set new path here. Then replace with this path is this path. Okay. So let's save a file. Okay. Now let's apply the changes using this command source etc environment. Okay. Now if you want to check the path is correct or not, then you can run this command. You can see the path of our Java that we have just added in this environment file. Okay. Now it's time to install Elasticsearch on Ubuntu. Okay, so Elasticsearch is a core component of ELK stack, so you need to use for search and analytics. So let's import the public this key. Okay, using the wget command. Okay, then after that, let's add the repository definition using this echo command. Okay, then next is first of all, let's update the packages, and then we are going to install Elasticsearch. Okay, it's done. Now it's time to install Elasticsearch. The command is sudo apt-get install Elasticsearch. So as you can see, it's installing Elasticsearch. So it takes few seconds to install. Okay. So as you can see, the version unpacking Elasticsearch 8.17.2, that's the latest version of Elasticsearch, right? So it's installing. Okay. It's almost done. Okay, it's done. Now, after installing Elasticsearch, we need to start the server and we need to enable the Elasticsearch. So first of all, I'm going to start my Elasticsearch and after that, I'm going to enable it. Okay, it's done. Let's enable. Okay, now let's check the status of our Elasticsearch. We can see it's active running and it's 10 seconds ago. Okay, it's done. So we have successfully installed Elasticsearch. Now it's time to configure Elasticsearch. So first of all, let's open this configuration file to allow external access to Elasticsearch and let's modify the configuration file. So first of all, let's go to the network section. In this network section, let's uncomment this network host and this IP replace with 0.0.0.0. That means any IP. And then in discovery section, first of all, let's remove this host 1 and host 2. Then uncomment this discovery seed host. And then the third change is here that security enable to replace with false. Okay. So here we made three changes. First is network host port number. That 0.0.0.0, then discovery, uncomment this discovery seed host and remove host 1 and host 2. And in this security, that security enable true replace with false. Let's save the file and exit. And as you know, after changes any configuration file, we need to restart the service. Now let's check the status. As you can see, 3 seconds ago and active running. Okay. Now let me clear screen first. And now it's done. We have successfully installed Elasticsearch. Okay. Now to confirm that Elasticsearch is set up correctly, send the test HTTPS request using curl command. You can see it's done. Name, cluster name, UID, and so on the details. If you want to access this data in browser, so it's simple. Copy your instance IP, hit on browser, and colon, and the Elasticsearch port number is 9200. As you can see, the details of our Elasticsearch. Okay, so we have successfully installed Elasticsearch. Now let's move to the next step. Now the next step is let's install Logstash. Okay, so Logstash is used to process and forward logs data to Elasticsearch. So let's install Logstash. Okay, so Logstash is used to process and forward log data to Elasticsearch. Okay, so let's install Logstash using following command. Sudo apt-get install Logstash. So as you can see, it's installing Logstash on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS. And as you can see the version of Logstash here, you can see the version is 8.17.2. That's the latest version of Elasticsearch Logstash also, right? So it takes few seconds to install. It's almost done, 55% done. Remaining is, yep, it's almost done. Okay. So it's unpacking Logstash. Okay. After installing Logstash, we need to create a Logstash configuration file here. So the location of Logstash configuration file is /etc logstash config.d logstash config, that file name. So let's edit this file into this particular location, and in this file we are going to add this following data. So in this, you need to careful about indentation. The indentation is like that. If you add any extra space, then you will have error. Okay. So the port number of Logstash is 5044. You need to open this port on your security group. Otherwise, you will get error. Okay. So as you can see here the data, let's save the file and exit. Then after that, let's start the Logstash. Then let's enable our Logstash. And as you know, let's check the status of Logstash. As you can see, it's 9 seconds ago and it's active running. So we have successfully installed Logstash once. Right? Okay. Now it's time to install Kibana. So let's install Kibana. So Kibana provides a web interface for visualizing data from Elasticsearch. Okay. Kibana is simply for visualizing data from Elasticsearch. So let's install Kibana using following command. So the command of install Kibana sudo apt-get install Kibana. So as you can see here, we are going to install Kibana on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS, and you can see here the Kibana version is 8.17.2. That's the latest version of Elasticsearch, Logstash, and also Kibana. Okay, so for Kibana, the port number of Kibana is 5601. Okay, so you need to open this port on your security group also. Elasticsearch port number is 9200, Logstash port number is 5044, and Kibana port number is 5601. That three port you need to open on your security group first. Then you can install this, and after that you will access in browser. So as you can see, it's 50% done, 50% remaining. So we need to wait for a few seconds to complete this installation. So as you can see, our Kibana is successfully installed, right? So after that, let's start the Kibana. Then let's enable the Kibana. Okay. Now, if you want to check the status, then you can check the status also. You can see it's active running and it's 10 seconds ago. Okay. So we have successfully installed Kibana, right? Now let's configure Kibana. So to configure Kibana for external access, let's edit the configuration file. So we need to edit the configuration file of Kibana. So let's edit. And here we made three changes. First of all, let's uncomment this server port. So as you know, Kibana server port is 5601. Then uncomment this server host, and this local host replace with 0.0.0, sorry, 0.0.0.0. That means any IP can access this. Okay. Then let's scroll down, and here in Elasticsearch, let's uncomment this Elasticsearch host. So in this Kibana configuration file, we made three changes. First is server port, then that 0.0.0.0 IP address, and then Elasticsearch host. Let's save the file and exit. After that, okay, right. Okay. So now after that, let's After that, any changes any configuration file. After changes any configuration file, we need to restart our server. So I'm going to restart my Kibana. Okay. Now, if you want to check the status, then we can check the status also. As you can see, it's 4 seconds ago, and it's active running. Okay. Now let's access this Kibana in your browser. Okay. So how to access? So simply copy your instance IP, hit on browser, and the Kibana port number is 5601. As you can see, it's loading Elastic. You need to wait for a few seconds. Okay. As you can see, welcome to Elastic. So let's click on this explore on my own. So as you can see, this is the Kibana dashboard. So we have successfully installed Kibana and we have successfully accessed Kibana in browser. Okay. Now let's move to the next step. Now the next step is let's install Filebeat. So Filebeat is a lightweight shipper used to forward the centralized log data. So let's install the Filebeat using the following command. So the command is sudo apt-get install Filebeat. So as you can see, it's installing Filebeat. Okay, it's done. Okay, it's done. So let's clear the screen. After that, let's open the Filebeat configuration file. So let's open this Filebeat configuration file. And in this file, first of all, let's go to the output. Okay, here. So here is the output section for in Elasticsearch. So first of all, let's comment it out. Comment this output Elasticsearch and host of this Elasticsearch, and let's scroll down and let's go to the Logstash output. And here, let's uncomment this output Logstash and uncomment this host of Logstash. So here we made two changes. First of all, comment this Elasticsearch output and uncomment this Logstash output. So let's save the file and exit. After that, let's run this command to enable the system. Okay, enable system. Then after that, let's open the system configuration file. That system configuration file location is here /etc filebeat modules.d system.yaml. So let's open this file, and here we need to make two changes, that false replace with true. And let's scroll down, and here also we need to enter false replace with true. Right. Now let's save the file and exit. Okay. After that, let's run this command to following command. Let's run the following command to apply the changes that we have made. Okay. Now let's set up the Filebeat to load the index template into Elasticsearch. Index setup finished. Then next, run this command to running our Kibana dashboard. As you can see, loading dashboard Kibana must be running and reachable. So we need to wait for a few seconds. After complete this, we are going to access in Kibana. It takes few seconds to complete. Wait for few seconds. It's loading dashboard of Kibana. As you can see, loaded dashboards. It's complete within 20 seconds. Okay. As you can see, it's done. Okay. Now let's start and enable our file bit. Let's enable. Okay. After that, ensure Elasticsearch is receiving data from Filebeat. Okay. So let's check it's receiving data from Filebeat or not. As you can see the data. And if you want to check the data in browser, then you can check this browser also. Instance IP, the port number is 9200 for Elasticsearch. So you can see that the data coming from the file, receiving from the file. Okay. Okay, that's it. Now let's go to the Kibana and let's check the logs from Filebeat. So how to check? So first of all, let's refresh the page. Okay. Then after that, let's click on this. And here you can see Discover. Click on Discover. And as you can see, the logs from Filebeat. So you can see the data view Filebeat, right? And you can see the logs from Filebeat. You can see the data and timing, right? Now that we just have installed. So that's the logs from Filebeat coming receiving from Filebeat. So that's it. So in this session, we have learned how to install Elasticsearch on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS. So thank you for watching and I hope you understand.